In a quiet suburb of Guangzhou, surrounded by hills and ancient trees, there was a small Buddhist temple where the young monk Cheng lived with his teacher, the venerable Master Bai. Cheng was a young man full of questions, always searching for profound answers that could illuminate his spiritual path. Have you ever felt the desire to find profound answers that could guide your path? Read on to discover a valuable lesson. One day, after a long meditation, he approached the master and with eyes full of sincerity asked, "Master, what is the true value of my life?" If you like inspiring and thought-provoking stories, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new content like this. Master Bai, who had been observing Cheng's path for a long time, smiled sweetly and said, "My son, before I answer you, I want you to do a small task. Go to the back garden, take a large stone, and take it to the market. If anyone asks you the price, don't speak. Just raise 2 fingers. If they try to bargain, don't sell it and take it back. Only then will I reveal the true value of your life to you." Cheng, although surprised by this request, followed his master's words without hesitation. The next morning, he took the stone from the temple garden and went to the market. The streets were filled with voices, laughter, and the smell of street food. It wasn't long before an elderly woman approached, curious about the stone. "How much is this stone?" she asked. Cheng, without saying a word, held up 2 fingers. The woman, misunderstanding, said, "2 yuan?" Cheng shook his head, and the woman, thinking for a moment, replied, "Then I will offer you 20. I could use it to crush salted vegetables." Cheng was surprised. 22 yuan for a stone that he had previously considered worthless? Following the master's instructions, he did not sell the stone and returned to the temple. "Master," Cheng said enthusiastically, "a woman was willing to pay 20 yuan for my stone. Can you now tell me what the true value of my life is?" Master Bai laughed lightly and replied, "Not yet. Tomorrow take the stone to the city museum. If anyone asks you the price, show 2 more fingers. If they haggle, do not sell it and take it back." The next day, Cheng headed to the museum. The atmosphere there was very different from the chaotic market. The air was quiet. Visitors walked slowly, carefully examining the works of art on display. As Cheng stood silently with his stone, a distinguished-looking man approached and after examining the object carefully said, "What a beautiful stone! It would be perfect for carving a statue. I offer you 2,000 yuan." Cheng couldn't believe his ears. 2,000 yuan for the same stone that had been valued at only 20 yuan the day before. Yet remembering the master's words, Cheng shook his head and took the stone back to the temple. "Master," Cheng said with even more enthusiasm, "today at the museum someone offered 2,000 yuan for the stone. What is the true value of my life now?" But the master, with his usual calm smile, replied, "Not yet. Tomorrow, take the stone to an antique shop in town. If anyone makes you an offer, bring it back. Have you ever discovered that something you owned was worth much more than you thought? Share your experience in the comments." The next day, Cheng found himself in the antique shop. It was a fascinating place, full of ancient objects, stories suspended in time. The stone immediately attracted the attention of the collectors present. A man, after looking at it with expert eyes, said, "This stone is extraordinary. I offer you 20,000 yuan. As Cheng was about to decline, another buyer intervened. "I offer you 200,000. Cheng, stunned by the offer, brought the stone back to the master, unable to contain his excitement. "Master, someone offered 200,000 yuan for the stone today. Now can you tell me the true value of my life?" Master Bai, with a warm and wise voice, replied, "My son, the value of your life is like this stone. If you put yourself in a vegetable market, you will be worth 20 yuan. If you put yourself in a museum, you will be worth 2,000 yuan. If you put yourself in an antique shop, you might be worth 200,000 yuan. Your value depends on where you are and how you are perceived." Here is the great lesson. The value of your life depends on the choices you make and the environment you are in. Are you sure you are in the right place to express your true potential? Cheng listened intently, a deep thought dawning in his heart. "Life," Master Bai continued, is full of possibilities. Just like this stone, it is not its intrinsic value that determines its worth, but the context in which it is placed. Many of us live our lives in places that do not reflect our true potential. We are like the stone in the marketplace, surrounded by people who cannot see our true value. The master's words touched Cheng deeply. It was as if at that moment, the veil of ignorance was lifting from his eyes. "Master," Cheng said, "do you mean that my value changes depending on where I am?" The master smiled and added, "Not only that. Value is not set in stone, but it is changeable depending on how you choose to live your life. You have to make choices that allow you to shine, to express your true potential. There are times when we get trapped in environments that do not allow us to grow. It is important to stop, reflect, and ask yourself, am I in the right place? Am I allowing my true value to emerge? Or am I hidden in the shadow of fear and insecurity? Take a moment to reflect. Are you truly living up to your potential, or are you in a limiting environment? Comment below with your thoughts. Cheng sat down next to the master, pondering his words. All his life, he had sought his value in the eyes of others, never thinking about how his choices and his environment affected his perception of himself. "Master," said Cheng, "then what should I do to find my true value?" Master Bai replied gently, "First of all, you must believe in yourself. We cannot expect others to see our value if we do not recognize it ourselves. Each of us has a unique gift, a talent, a passion. But to bring out that value, we must cultivate self-confidence and make courageous decisions. Sometimes you have to step away from what you know to discover your true potential." Cheng listened in silence, feeling a deep sense of peace growing inside him. The master's words were like a caress, soothing his insecurities and fueling a new hope. "Remember," the master concluded, "it is never too late to make a change. If you feel that the place you are in does not allow you to express your true value, then perhaps it is time to look for a new path. When you believe in your value and follow your heart, the world becomes a canvas on which you can paint your dreams, and your life, my son, can become a beautiful masterpiece. Now think, are you ready to make a change to express your true potential? Don't miss more lessons like this. Subscribe to our channel and continue your journey of discovery." With these words, Cheng bowed deeply to the master. He no longer needed to look elsewhere for answers because he had finally understood that the value of his life depended on his choices, his courage, and his ability to see beyond appearances. His stone, which once seemed meaningless, now symbolized the potential hidden in every soul. And so, with a heart full of gratitude, Cheng returned to the temple, ready to write his own destiny.